Are you looking for that next great accessory for your Tesla Model 3? I think I found something you need to look at, and it's what I use to charge my phone wirelessly on the go. Coming up next. What's up, Matt Wood here from TechViewHQ, where we like to showcase technology through product review and how-to videos just like this one. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. And as always, anything that we review or talk about in our videos will include information about those products as well as links on where you can purchase those products in the video description below. So feel free to check that out at any time. Okay, I was super excited to receive this in the mail. This is the Jeda Wireless Pad. It's the wireless phone charger specific for the Tesla Model 3. And I remember I became a proud owner of a Tesla Model 3 back in December of 2018. And I remember before the car was released, there was a lot of speculation on what type of technology the car would have. And one of those things that a lot of people assumed is that it would support wireless charging. And it didn't. What Tesla did provide were two hardwired charging options, one for Apple and one for Android, which works, right? And works fast, and it's reliable because it's hardwired. However, I struggled with it a little bit. I had a Galaxy Note 8, which is a larger phone, and I had a kind of a ruggedized case, which kind of lifted the phone off the tray high enough so that I had trouble kind of lining up the charger with the charging port on the phone. And so when I got in my car, I felt like I was fumbling around to try to get my phone to charge. So I immediately said I need to find a wireless charger. And online, there were people, there were companies that were making products, wireless charging pads for the Tesla Model 3. And then there were people doing the do-it-yourself, where they were ordering QI pucks on Amazon and adhering them to the tray and then using a foam mat over the top of it, which works as well. And in my search, I came across Jeda. And so I saw that a lot of people were raving about their product and the price point. And so I said, I want to check it out. So I went to getjeda.com and looked, and I was surprised to see that they had just announced that they were getting ready to release a version 2 of the product. And that told me two things. Based on all of the positive reviews from their first version, it told me they made a good product. And the fact that they were coming out with a version 2 told me that they listened to the customer base and made improvements on the product that was already good to begin with. So that was a quick sale for me. I went to the site and ordered it, and I'll tell you, I paid for this. This was not provided to me by Jeda for the purpose of this review. So let's take a closer look at the hardware and my experiences with the Jeda Wireless Pad. Okay, so let's take a closer look at the Jeda Pad. This is the packaging, obviously, and if we remove the cover, we'll notice that we're presented with the rear or the bottom side of the pad first. And it was funny, when I first received this, I thought to myself, I don't remember there being color options. And secondly, I said I wouldn't have probably selected red per se, but Jeda just did this as something fun. So just the back of the pad is red, and we'll take a look at the front. Couple things to note, there are 4 rubber feet on the bottom of this pad. These stick out, and they fit perfectly in the recessed holes in the phone tray, the stock Model 3 phone tray. And they just fit snugly in there. You know it's a good fit when those feet fit in the recessed holes. There's no sliding around. That pad isn't going to move once it's installed. The other thing you'll notice is there are 2 micro USB ports, and that is where you'll plug in the charger. We'll take a look in the packaging. You'll also included are the 2 USB plugs and some basic install instructions. I'm going to go ahead and set that aside so we can take a closer look at the product itself. So on these 2 micro USB, you'll see that they are labeled. One is labeled P and one is labeled P and L. And so that's good to know, and I'm going to explain why. If you're only planning on charging one phone wirelessly using this pad, then you'll probably want to select P and L. So I'm assuming that P is portrait and this other P and L is portrait and landscape. So in my vehicle, I'm the only one that has a phone capable of wireless charging. So I just plug in the one USB port here on the P and L. And essentially what that does is it feeds the charging coils here, which is the driver's side of the pad, and the bottom, which is the landscape mode of the pad. So when I'm driving, I can set my phone here to charge or here to charge, and it works very well. Now if you have two people that have phones that are wireless charge capable, you'll obviously want to plug in both so that all three charging coils are provided power for charging. One of the first things you're going to notice on this version of the pad versus version 1 is this separator here on the first version ran further down the pad to separate left and the right sides, which didn't allow for landscape charging. So they've still put the separator in, which is nice, but they've shortened it to allow for portrait or landscape placement on the pad itself. The other thing I noticed with this pad is it's solid. It's got a nice rubbery texture. It's an improved TPE covering over their first generation pad, and Jeda claims that it's 3 times better. I can tell you, I've used this pad for almost a month. It works great. The phone doesn't move. I can take sharp turns, accelerate quickly, and the phone doesn't move. So the covering is very nice for that purpose. The other thing you'll notice is the bottom lip of the pad, and this is where the base of the phone or the side of the phone will rest, is quite high. One of the drawbacks of the stock Tesla Model 3 phone tray is if you had a phone with a large case, if you set it down and you didn't set it down just right, it could slip down and fall into the forward compartment. With this extended base here, that doesn't happen. And so when you put this phone down, there's no way, even with a thicker case, that phone's going to ride off the edge of that lip and down into your compartment, your forward compartment. So anyway, so this is the Jeda version 2 pad. It works as advertised. It supports 7.5 to 15 watts of power. 7.5 will suffice for your iPhone charging, and then the Samsung quick charging uses more, so it supports up to 15 watts, which is great, and that's what I'm using. I have a Samsung Galaxy S10, and I'm getting full fast charging with this charging pad, and so I'm very pleased with it. So that's just a quick review. It's a simple design, but very effective. I recommend the Jeda Wireless Pad to all Model 3 owners. Jeda is also releasing an adapter for the bottom that'll allow for wired charging too. And that's due out in April of 2019 per their website, and you can go to getjeda.com for additional information. But that'll be nice because that doesn't eliminate those users who have to hardwire or choose to hardwire their phone. If they want, they can run the charging cable through the future adapter, and it'll stick up, and they can just set their phone in charge, much like the stock Tesla hardwiring charging capabilities that you got with your car. So they didn't leave anyone out in their design. They made a great product. I've been very happy with it. So I suggest you go to getjeda.com, check it out. If you have any questions, please leave comments below the video, and I'll try to answer as many as I can. Until next time, thanks again. So that wraps up our review of the Jeda Wireless Pad. I hope you found it helpful. It's always our goal here at TechViewHQ to provide you information so that you can make an informed purchase decision on your next technology purchase. Until next time, keep it high tech.